books, can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, October the 5th. It's NFL Sunday. Here we go. Got a big day here, and what a night last night as well, huh? With our coverage of UFC 320. What a finish. What a fight. What a moment. Wasn't long. A minute 20. That was it. Not everybody can last a minute 20 on a Saturday night, but Magomed Ankalaev did against Alex Pereira. Poatan is back for sure. I don't care, 38, 39, 40, doesn't matter.
Final.
What a performance last night by Alex Pereira to get that win last night and get that title back, the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship last night here on the Sports Money Network companion show. Had a fun time with the guys, and what a stunner there. Maybe you had the winner last night with us, and what a day of college football as well. Some great finishes, more like some strange finishes a little bit throughout college football, and some strange results yesterday. Things that just don't usually happen seemed to happen yesterday. And, well, some of the best teams took care of business as well. So we'll get to the NFL here today. The injuries are rolling in right now, and so is the steam, and we'll get to it in just a moment. We're going to say hello to everyone in the chat all-stars here on Sunday, and get ready for some great NFL. And coming up here in just 10 minutes, we're going to get ready for the big game, Cleveland and Minnesota. We're going to get right to it, and we'll get to the recap in just a moment. We got to get to the big game. So let's say hello and then get right to it. Good luck here. Stop Geo's here. Ken Mizrahi as well. Irish King. There's Nuke. Ready to go. We're ready to go here with Kripke. Hey, how you doing, Kripke? Nice to see you. Cash Kane as well. And Nuke says, how about the Jays? They smashed them today, but Cash Kane says it's going to be the Yankees today. Good morning to Robert McCormick as well. Nuke says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Ready? We'll do baseball first. We're going to go right to the first game, though. We got to get on with it here. We're just 10 minutes away from kickoff from London. David Wallace, hello. Andrew G. as well. Pereira got that power from the gods. And, hey, it was also some other great results there, too. And Jags as well. Timothy Hawk, hello. Let's go to the game here real quick. We'll cover some of the action later. We got to cover the action here in just a few moments with the Vikings and the Browns here in London. And let's get it going real quick like with the Vikings here. 3.5, 35.5. It says at the Browns. Should change it to versus the Browns. Neutral site game here, although the Vikings have been in the UK for a second consecutive week. They were, of course, in Dublin last week, so it is still a little bit of travel involved, but nonetheless, the Browns here, meanwhile, come in with the shaky situation. I mean, they're going with a rookie quarterback here on a kind of a short week, right? You got to go over all the hassles of going across the pond to the game, and man, it seems like the wrong week to do it. Try to stay with a veteran, but maybe they're that confident. in their man here today in Dylan Gabriel. I don't know if I feel that way. I wouldn't want to go about this, but hey, you know what? If you don't take any chances, you ain't going to make any progress. We were talking about it last night, and I mean, where's Shedeur Sanders? Not only is Dylan Gabriel going up here against, in his first game as a start, but Vikings do a pretty good job at harassing quarterbacks for sure. Now they could run. It's supposed to be a big game here for Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, he's improved his numbers every week and should have a big game today as well. You know, Cleveland has to run this ball to have a chance today against the Vikings. I like the Vikings here. I mean, I think the Vikings, yes, they've definitely thrown in some clunkers here. Carson Wentz at quarterback, it wasn't good there, losing to Pittsburgh last week. But it turns out maybe Pittsburgh is doing some okay things here a little bit. Minnesota has had their share of trying to keep this mojo going that the team is on right now over the last couple of seasons here for sure. I mean, they've been one of the best teams in football while Cleveland continues to be Cleveland. So can they really do it with a rookie here? They've only covered 2 of their last 10 games overall. They've only won 1 of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, Minnesota, they've still been winning. They've won 11 of their last 15 dating back to last season, although they have dropped 4 of their last 6 against the spread. We can go to the chat. We don't have long, and we want to get to the action here with the Vikings. Take it on the Browns here in London. Let's go to the chat and see what you've got to say here on the morning steam. Cleveland's gone under in 7 of their last 9 and 5 of their last 6 games at home. This total's dropped massively because of what we just talked about. You got a rookie quarterback in here. Carson Wentz obviously didn't look that great against Pittsburgh. He was somewhat harassed for sure. But still, you look at Minnesota up and down. They've got that same lineup. Now, Cleveland's got a terrific defense, really good. And they can stop the run here with Mason. I mean, I kind of want to fade Jordan Mason a little bit in this game. He obviously wasn't great against Pittsburgh after he had that big game against Cincinnati. But I think here, I feel like they'll still try to run him, and I don't know if that's the best idea. Like I said, with Cleveland, the Quinshawn Judkins here, I mean, he is pretty popular today in old prop land, that's for sure. All right, chat. Here we go. We're just 5 minutes away from kickoff. Try to cover a few more players here. My official play on the show here is going to be on the under. I'm going to take the under at 35.5. Considering what we've seen right now with the total dropping, I'm still willing to do it. I mean, I don't know if Gabriel can get us more than a touchdown here against the Vikings defense. And I think Cleveland is definitely in a situation where we've seen them kind of stuff things here right now, doing a good job defensively and at least making this team have a chance, it feels like. So I'm also a little bit big here on Bond. I know Bond is pretty popular with everyone right now, and maybe his numbers aren't quite there, but it looks like he's continuing to ascend. So I'd probably look to try to maybe play Bond here for Cleveland. I'd say Judkins is by far, I would say, my favorite player on Cleveland today for some props. I don't know if I can get really on anybody else. Maybe Bond. I don't think I like Judy here with his number a little bit too high for me, but I do like Justin Jefferson, and I do like Jordan Addison here. I think their numbers are fine. You just got to get Wentz to get him the ball. It'll be tough, but those are the guys that I'd probably still look to play today. Let's go to the chat. Here we go. Got just a few minutes to go here. And we've got Nuke is going to be on the Browns. I think he means plus 3.5, but maybe Nuke can reverse it sometimes. You can sometimes go with an alternate line. All right. Robert here is on the Browns. A lot of Browns. Nuke Baden Wentz here at Bar likes Vikings money line. Ken Mizrahi says these guys are going down. There's going to be some sacks, right? Feels like some sacks. Good morning to Lando. And D-Money's on the Browns. Ziggy likes the Vikings against the spread. ATS lay the points. And Blake is on the Browns. Take those points. Good morning to Joe W. And that was a big downfall, really, of the Vikings in that game last week against Pittsburgh when their offensive line started to wear down. Having some makeshift pieces in there, if you will, then that's what started to shake them up a little bit. And you're not dealing with another, you think it was tough last week against Pittsburgh. Wait till you see Cleveland's defense. But there are other big-time weaknesses of Cleveland, too, that, kind of makes it tough. Maybe Pittsburgh's offense is a little bit better here than what they're doing here with Gabriel. And, again, it does affect. If you can't get your quarterback to move the ball a little bit, at least get something going, you're going to be in a field position situation, not a good one. And that, maybe a big difference between a guy like Aaron Rodgers and Dylan Gabriel. As much as you want to make fun of Rodgers, like I said, just maybe Pittsburgh has a little bit of something going. We're not going to, get all carried away, but maybe they've Robin says it's 1-0 over there, and Luke says the Vikings partied in England. Good morning to Arthur. And Irish King says it's raining there. And Lando says, look, usually in these international games, I will tell you this, there are some precedents here in some of these international games and some of these totals. Last week's game went over by 4 points. This week here with this thing at 35.5, maybe 36, all NFL neutral site games with an over-under of less than 42 points in the last 12 years. It's happened 12 times, and it's 8-2 to the over. That's all neutral site games in the NFL, these type of games. Over the last 12 years, 10 games that have been less than 42 points on the total, and it's gone over in 8 of 10 of those games. All right, the national anthem is being sung here. Once the game starts, we're going to preview everything else and keep an eye on the game. It's live companion viewing with me here with the NFL, with the Browns and the Vikings. Purple and brown, baby. That's feeling good. But we're still rolling with some of the festivities here. So, all right, my play will be on the under here. I'm going to stick with it. I think I have a problem with what Cleveland is doing here today with Dylan Gabriel. I hope it works out for him. Quinshon Judkins can help this situation and make it work out for him, because I think everyone's looking here for Quinshon Judkins to have a big game. Everybody knows that he's going to be the man here today for the Cleveland Browns. And like I said, for Minnesota, I'm still going to roll with Jefferson. I'm still going to roll with Addison as long as Carson Wentz doesn't get killed before halftime. So, okay, I think that's it. These poor, hey, all right, there's DeAndre. Hi, DeAndre. Hope you're ready for the game. Hope you're gonna have fun. We'll watch this game a little bit before you maybe doing some other appearances. Thank you. Thank you. You're doing a great job with me, man. I really appreciate you. And you could save me here this morning with some picks. Get ready for the games. We had some great picks last night. I'm going to come out with some more today. All right, let me call up here. Make sure I get the algorithm going, see who's going to be the top commenter in the chat today. You can get more plays from me every day over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get my high volume plays over at Winnable. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those extra premium selections from me. High volume plays. You know what? We split our tennis last night. Just saw, though, the final here. I couldn't publicly put out a play. I thought it was going to be a tough match, and it was. But Anisimova, it was a wild match. Anisimova won the title there overnight just moments ago. I just finished watching it up here, getting ready for the show at the China Open. as Anisimova won the
Final.
match 6-0, 6-love, 2-6, 6-2 over Noskova. So it was pretty wild for sure. But final in there from the China Open. Okay, the teams are on the field. We're getting set. 61 degrees. What a lovely day here. And getting ready for kickoff with the Vikings and the Browns. All right. And we'll kick it off here too. As it gets going, I'll go ahead and give out my play on the side as well. Like I said, I just went with the under here pre-flop, but I do think the Vikings are going to be able to, at least they're going to cover this number. I'll take them to cover this number. And if Dylan Gabriel goes out there and has a terrific game, he better thank Quinshon Judkins, because I'm sure that'll mean Judkins has a 100-yard game on the ground. And it gives enough time for Gabriel to get to Judy and to get to Bond. They're going to need Bond, and we'll see if Njoku can also. Did we just hit the ball in the? Oh my goodness! Did we just have another goofball kicker bounce the ball before the 20-yard line and place him at the 40? I mean, how hard is it? If you're going to do that, just kick the ball deep. Just kick it deep and let it run. You're trying to get too cute here, and now you're putting him at the 40-yard line. It's the worst play you can make. The worst absolute play you can make in football right now is these dumb kickers that they can kick the ball 70 yards and then they can't put it in the landing zone. Oh, my goodness. That was terrible. All right, Gabriel's. I want to keep watching this game, but we got to talk sports here right now and see what else is going on. Dirty Reg was on the Vikings. Nick Handy stuck with it here, saying go over here. And Irish King says Vikings first half. Nuke says who's kicking off? Yeah, right? That was the Vikings with a dumb kick. Dumb kick. Oh, Ziggy just doesn't like the rules, period. I think it's a good rule. I mean, Ziggy, just kick the ball to the goal line and make the guy run it out. The best thing to do is, if you can do it, is you try to kick the ball. Yes, you try to kick a line drive that hits in the landing zone and skips through to the end zone. Now to put them at the 20. Even if they return it, they might get to the 30. But if you can't even hit the landing zone, you put them at the 40. Flag is down. All right, that's it. We're going to go to let's just keep going here right now. We don't have to belabor too much last night, although we could talk about the other series in baseball. Let's open up with baseball here in the postseason today and take a look at the two games. I'm really disappointed in this baseball schedule that at least the National League teams, it is a, I guess it's an equal playing field, but give them a day off in the middle of the series. That does not replicate what you do in the regular season where you play series 3 games or 4 games in a row. Now, I know we're in a best of 5, and you're giving them a day off. We just had days off. We just had a day off, right? We don't need another day. So a little bit of an advantage maybe for those teams, the teams that won't play today, specifically the National League teams, of course. Here's Njoku rumbling here near midfield. So, day off, Dodgers and Phillies, after the Dodgers cleaned up on the Phillies there with Teoscar Hernandez, 3-run home run. The score was 5-3 at the time, and the 3-2 at the time, and the home run put the Dodgers ahead 5-3 as Teoscar, the former Blue Jay, went deep and gave the Dodgers the win there yesterday. And a great win there in game 1. Also, other National League game, Milwaukee jumped all over the Cubs and blasted them early and got that win, got it out of the way, took that game here. The field looks awful, actually. I'm looking at right there, it looks like a wavy. We have to see about that, but the turf looks kind of wavy there. So Cleveland can't get anything going. They're actually going to end up punting here at 4th and 3. I would just go for it at this point. I mean, you came all this way with Gabriel. You're at midfield. What are you doing? You got 3 yards to go. You all fired up? I'm kidding, kind of. All right. Anyway, get to the first games here in baseball. Oh, let me get the promo off the screen there. And go to. They put the landing zone graphic on a punt. What are they doing? All right, here we go. Let's get to it here with the Yankees and Max Fried taking on the Blue Jays. And yes, Savage here has done a great job, Trey Savage, so far. I mean, if it wasn't for Cam Schlittler, we'd be talking about this guy as the next sensation. But you know what? Thing about Schlittler, he did have a few more reps than Savage coming into this one, but nonetheless, Savage here has been strong, man. He had that record performance with the last outing and could look good here today after the Blue Jays smashed the Yankees yesterday and took the win and blew them out 10-1. So yeah, a little bit of you know Blue Jays continuing that dominance over the Yankees here in this series. They've really owned them here at home. Yankees have lost 8 of the last 11 against Toronto, and Toronto's won 7 of the last 8 at home against the Yankees coming in following that 10-1 win yesterday. And, well, when you got Max Fried, you know you're going to get a good, solid outing, I'm sure, here. First down for the Vikings. Should be okay with Fried in here at least. I mean, 19-5 record, 2.77 ERA coming in, 1.1 WHIP, 221 batting average against. But is Savage very, very solid numbers coming into this one. 3 starts, 3.21 ERA, but had an incredible performance in that outing. And Toronto, like we said, just kind of owning the Yankees here. So I think we'll see some solid pitching from these guys right now. And I'm going to end up here taking the under in this one at 8 over 20. I think that's mostly the line here. Yes, the Yankees, the Toronto Blue Jays did smash them yesterday for 10 runs. I get that. But I would say a big offensive game like that might be a bit of an outlier here, especially got Max Fried coming in here to try to stabilize things. Nothing against Luis Eel, but you do have elite pitching here with Fried, and we'll see. Savage is a guy who is supposed to be highly touted. He just arrived here early and then came up with some big numbers, obviously here. So I'm on the under here in this one with New York and Toronto in game 2. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here. I'm trying to get my injuries under control here with the NFL. Okay, chat, thank you very much. And let's hear from you in the baseball action here today. All right, Terrell says a Viking, hey, I mean, this is Viking country now. Andrew says his Dodgers keep winning. And Andrew says, I think he's saying the Dodgers might not lose, huh? Cleveland's a disaster. They are. I mean, I think that's why we're in the situation that we're in, right? Where we're starting, why would you do that? They'll easily prove us wrong. I mean, hey, probably still got a 50% chance of covering the spread like anything. Nuke says, give me the Jays and forget about it. Kane says, Yankees first 5, maybe. Andrew says, this is the number 1 man right here. One of the tops in the league for sure. Going to see another one here in a second. Nuke says, don't forget the Jays record at home. It's been incredible this season. Arthur's on the Yankees. Eric Acevedo is here. And hi, Eric. He likes the Yankees on the money line. Blake's on the Jays. Not Jake on the Blaze, but maybe. Blake's on the Jays on the run line. Yeah, I think I am probably too in this one. D-Money likes Toronto here. Robert says Yankees first 5. You're gonna have Fried. I mean, it seems like a long shot that Fried would have a poor outing anyway, right? Even if he was mediocre, he'd probably be okay to get him through. Lando says Yankees money line, and Eric says Yankees. I think that's team total over right there. I think that's team total over. All right, I'm going under though in this one, and I guess it's at 8 over 20 for me here. But I like I think it will be not a blowout there early like the Yankees did there. Kind of compared it to the Cubs there, but Eric says Yankees will smash. Fumble! Ball's loose. Who's got it? Do the Browns have it here? Oh, don't be turning it over, Mason. Got some great receivers out there. Keep it on the ground with this guy. Cleveland's going to knock it away. You know, we see these NFL teams right now. Now I'm going to look at the read, but, you know, they're really doing the job punching that ball. This is a lost art that is back now all of a sudden. You got to teach that. Punch that ball out. And you don't have to be all, you know, obnoxious about it. Just punch the ball as you're tackling. Wow, big turnover there. That's going to be good field position for the Browns. Let's go to the other game now here with the Tigers taking on the Mariners with Tariq Skubal. Well, we just talked about Max Fried. Skubal seems like a can't miss here too, doesn't it? Is on the road here. Similar situation. Road favorite, though. But the Tigers are coming off the road win. Man, the Tigers have shaken all the bad juju from that terrible streak down the stretch, and they've won key games here of late. Now you have Skubal coming in with a 2.17 ERA, 14-6 record coming in, 0.88 whip, and a 197 batting average against. For the Tigers here, they come in still having lost 14 of their last 20, and the Mariners have still won 11 of their last 15 at home. But Seattle has lost 5 of their last 7 games to the Detroit Tigers. I'm going to look at this replay here. You see Mason here, and just reach in and punch that ball out. That's all you got to do. You know, Detroit's gone under in 7 of their last 9, also under in 8 of their last 11 on the road. But Skubal should calm things down here, and he's up against a fellow ace, I would say, right? We know there's a big rumble down the right side. Quinshon Judkins. So, Castillo, you know, another ace. Now, Wu is inactive here for the wild card, for the division series, interestingly enough, but Castillo certainly qualifies as an ace. Yeah, his numbers are a little not like these other aces, but, you know, Castillo's been the man for years in Seattle, since King Felix, right? You always could trust Castillo. Not great, 11-8 this year, 3.54 ERA, 1.18 whip, 244 batting average against. Certainly think Castillo at home, it can at least almost match Skubal here, given the circumstances. Judkins rumbles in. Big time red zone opportunity underway here, a second down. So, I don't know, but a little bit of plus money. I kind of want to take Seattle here in this one. I like Seattle, I think, here. But let me take the under as my play here on the show. I'll go under in the first 5 with Seattle and Detroit. I like Skubal, of course, and I like Castillo to have a solid outing here, and maybe give the Mariners a big chance here. Gabriel fires. Great defensive play there. Tried to get it to Bond. Bond's got to be the guy, but that's a great defensive play. All right. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say in this one with Detroit and Seattle. Ziggy likes under 6. D-Money, Detroit and under. Arthur Wesley says Detroit money line. Timothy's on the Tigers money line. Seattle's done, says Irish King. Judkins short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1 at the 6. What do you do? Hey, you came all this way with Gabriel. You got to go for it here. 4th and 1 at the 6-yard line. You can trust your defense to get it back. The Vikings are just going to fumble the ball back anyways. You better go for it here. Public Enemy's got Tigers first 5. NYC Bar says Tigers money line. Bobby Mack on the Tigers. And Terrell says, man, you get a 1-0 lead with Skubal. That's a pretty comfortable position. Judkins first down. Blake is on the Tigers money line. Public Enemy, nice to see Public Enemy. Eric says Detroit money line and under. And Duke says I'll take Scooble at $1.35. And let's see, Seattle, K, Detroit, K. Does that mean a lot of Ks? Crip Key says Mariners, Lando, Detroit, money line. All right, a little bit of hey, how about some NBA steam real quick? The Warriors are taking some steam here tonight against the Lakers. They were 1.5. They're all the way up to 3 now. You know the Warriors are going to beat the Lakers tonight. Crashing down to the 1.5 is 4. It's a 4. Down to the 1.5. They're on the doorstep here with 7:20 to go in the first quarter. All right, that's it for baseball. Thanks, you guys. Good picking.
Steam playing.
Also, here's some steam in the other NBA game tonight with the Thunder and the Hornets. The under is getting steamed in the Thunder and the Hornets. It was 218, but we're down to like 216 here. We're going to be heading down to 216 right now. Second and goal, play action, got his man wide open, touchdown. Fannin Jr. is in the end zone for Cleveland. Did you have Fannin Jr.? Nobody had the tight end Fannin Jr., didn't they? His production had gone down all week, although he was popular with the analysts here a little bit this week. He's had a good start to the season. Fannin Jr. has a touchdown, his first of his season here. Good job there, and Cleveland has the lead with 6:49 to go here in the first half. Capitalize on that turnover. Fannin Jr. All right. Andrew Jesus, Fannin Jr. was paying here. Yeah, I mean, behind Njoku, but, you know, the funny thing was, I mean, you listen to the analysts this week. I mean, they liked Fannin Jr. just as much as Njoku. All right, look at that, 32.5, though, after taking off some of that clock, right? 2 drives with nothing, and then Cleveland took their time getting in. All right, that's it for baseball. Let's go to the NFL. I want to talk NFL with you here on NFL Sunday and get to some of our favorite players as well as our favorite plays today in the NFL. The Dolphins are taking on the Panthers, and the Dolphins are favored here by 1 on the road. What? Now, the Panthers did get rocked last week, we know, against the Patriots. But remember, they won the week prior against a weak opponent, 30-0. They showed out. Both teams come in 1-3. So, look, not a great game for sure. But there are some guys that may help keep the Carolina Panthers, to me, as the team to beat in this game, even against Miami right now. I mean, look, this would be a spot. You'd think if I'm going to back my guy McDaniel, this might be the one to do it. Because you got to go with Achane here if you're the Dolphins and run the heck out of him. I mean, Achane could and should have a big game here against the Panthers today. He had a great game last week of 99 yards, and he could probably do it again against this Miami run defense, which is certainly a bottom 5 run defense, if not a bottom 3 or 4, I would guess. Now, Tua can have a decent game here, I would think. Waddle is key. Without Hill, you got to have Waddle step up. Unfortunately, the numbers on Waddle, the prices have gone up a little bit too high for me to get involved with Waddle. But I think Tua's numbers are kind of low enough that you could actually take him. You got to hope Malik Washington and Westbrook Akine can do something for Tua. They're going to need him because actually Panthers do cover tight ends pretty well. And although Waller had a great game last game with those 2 touchdowns, I think it's going to be a lot tougher today for Waller against the Panthers. I'm not saying the Panthers defense is any good, but one thing they are okay at, covering tight ends, covering covering receivers pretty much, but not stopping the run. I would say just run the ball, try to control it if you are the Miami Dolphins with Achane and Ollie Gordon. because Ollie Gordon's done a good job as well. For the Panthers, look, it's going to be about Bryce Young. It's going to be about Tedero McMillan. I think McMillan can have another big day here and keep his hot streak alive. I say hot streak. He's actually probably come in under his numbers in 3 of 4, but man, it just seems like he's on the verge of a breakout. It's probably because he doesn't have the quarterback really to get it to him. Even though in this matchup, it certainly should be okay for Bryce Young. Even Bryce Young might be able to navigate this against Miami. Rico Dowdle will be in there this week with the injury to Chubb. Dowdle's okay. I don't think I'm going to tag on him or anything, but I'm not down on Dowdle, and maybe with Trevor Etienne as well. But I would think that one of the hottest figures today in yards and props and production is going to be Tommy Tremble. The numbers are reasonable. He had 8 targets, 5 receptions, and a touchdown in the loss to New England. And Tommy Tremble is, in line to have a pretty good game, I would think. I think they can get it to Tommy Tremble here, and you might be able to get a little something. I know that he's been pretty popular with the analysts this week. Maybe it even has us taking his number a little bit out of range, I wouldn't say out of range, but no huge value here. But I think Tremble here for Carolina is going to be key as well. So I think Young, I think Tedero McMillan, and I think Tremble are the guys to look at here in this one. I'm going under in this game. It is pretty high for 2 teams that, the total has moved here about a point and a half to the under. Let's go to the chat in this one with Miami and Carolina here. NYC Bar likes the Panthers. Ziggy likes the under. Irish King says Miami first half full game. Moneyline. Fins Moneyline for Cash Kane. Timothy Hawk likes the Fins. And Robert likes the under here as well with me. Kripke Panthers. D-Money Panthers. A lot of Panther action here. And Dowdle there. Got a scratch Hubbard there, Robert. But don't worry. You can go with, I think you can go with Dowdle. I think it's a little bit of a gamble. Like I said, it feels like because of Hubbard's pretty fine production, I think they think the passing game is okay. The running game is okay. There's Jefferson there. All right. Let's see here. Yes, and Achan here for I look at Achan big game. I would think he is their best chance here. Panthers money line. It's a lot of Panthers in the chat. I think that's good that our chat likes the Panthers. I hope that not everyone is Panther happy, because it does feel like you don't want to be on a public Panther play. I guess is that a thing? Jimmy Horn, probable. Xavier Legette, probable. Versus Miami. Darren Waller, probable for Miami. Okay. I'm going to go with the under here as my play on the Morning Steam Show. Let's keep it going right now in our next matchup between the Cowboys and the Jets. Talk about disappointment in life. Cowboys here going to be a favorite in this one, and look, I try to find every way possible to try to get on the Jets. In fact, I think the matchups actually favor the Jets. I just feel like the Jets can't cover a spread or win a game in situations like this. Now, maybe, if you're going to look for one, Jefferson first down. These are the Vikings, man. That turnover hurt them. But anyways, these are the games the Jets just don't get, it feels like. And meanwhile, Dallas, look, they're nothing special either, but they probably have the better, they have the better personnel, could we just say? Especially at quarterback. Given the fact that in this, that in the game here today, you're going to have Justin Fields, who actually has a pretty good matchup against Dallas. In fact, Dallas is trading Parsons is really the worst thing they could have done for this defense. They can't get at the quarterback at all, really, it feels like. And he'll have a great situation with Garrett Wilson today. Now, I don't know if it'll stretch out anymore. Do you really want to trust uh, Reynolds? Do you want to trust Lazard here? And even Mason Taylor, who, yeah, Mason Taylor had a big game against Miami, but Miami's not very good against the tight ends. So still, I think Garrett Wilson is a big time target here today for the props. I think he's got to be, one of the top guys to look at for props today. Garrett Wilson, even with Justin Fields in there. Like I said, Fields can do it today against these Cowboys right now. Now, for Dallas, I think Dak's numbers were just too high. I can't play him over on his props. But interestingly, I don't think Pickens' numbers were relative or as high. There's Hawkinson. I know he was popular today too. He gets a catch. So I love Pickens today. I don't know if I like anybody else. I might go a long shot here with Flournoy to get a little something if you get down on a WR3 here with Flournoy after he had a couple of receptions on 2 targets in the last game. Jake Ferguson gets all those targets, but it does seem like the bookmakers are on to him a little bit and are making you pay the price. And I got to say, I'm neutral on Ferguson. Yes, there's a chance that he gets 15 targets here and he'll beat his props. But if he doesn't, if he gets only 10 targets, he might not get his props. There's another completion as the Vikings are going down here, 3 minutes to go. So also Aubrey, tough in Death Life Stadium, but I think even Aubrey here, especially a Dallas team that could end up getting stalled a little bit, could be in line for a big game. It's easy to say because Aubrey's the best in the game, I think. So give me here the under in this one. Look, it's 48. Like it's, like Justin Fields is going to line up. Here's an easy touchdown. Touchdown. It's Oliver. And the Vikings are on the board. We got 14 points in the first quarter of a game that had a 35.5 total that I went under on, but the Vikings are back in this one. Tie the game up here with a PAT. All right, so hopefully that's good on that one. I'm going to go ahead and take the under with Dallas and the Jets. Hey, this is one of the high totals in the game and right of the day. I know there's a lot of 47, 48, 49s this week. There's no real 50s out there, but still, out of the totals, I mean, these 48s, there's a handful of them, and I don't know. Although of the Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson combo, are the Jets in a close game here really going to get 24 points against Dallas at home? That's what they're expecting. Let's go to the chat here right now and see what you guys have. And it is Jets against the spread for Ziggy. Pickens will pick them apart, says Irish King. I think Pickens can have a big game against this team. It's just that, I don't know, beyond that, can you really trust Tolbert there? Like I said, I wanted to go to Flournoy, and his numbers aren't great either. And as far as Javonte Williams is concerned, look, the production's been there. It's been good. I don't think I'd go over his numbers here, but with Miles Sanders, I believe he is questionable. That might line up Williams for a few extra carries because then you'd have to go to Jadon Blue, and we're waiting for Jadon Blue. Hopefully we'll see him today. We've been waiting to see him here in the NFL, so hopefully we'll see Jadon Blue today. All right, Timothy's on the Jets. Fields for a TD. 9 Legacy says Jets money line. Fields steals the TDs. That's okay. Fields for over 60 rushing yards. I like that, Blake. I like this. I like Fields to have a running and passing day for sure. Here, like I said, I think the Jets are competitive. I think what will happen is I think this would be a game where the Jets maybe even are winning and they'll choke. I think they'll choke. I think Dallas will come up clutch in this game. The SF9er had a rough night in UFC. Why didn't I go with Pereira? Should have been on Pereira, it feels like to me. VB was on Pereira, and I don't tell him. I mean, I went with Ankalaev. VB went with Pereira. Right in my face, right on the show. And I went with Ankalaev. I thought it was over for Pereira, and he looked great in there. Come on. What am I thinking? David Wallace, Jets, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Philly money line. He's got that parlay with a boost on. Fields over in his passing yards for SF Niner. Dak to throw some picks. Barr says Cowboys. So he says this game has Bears Cowboys. Like the Bears, he thinks it's gonna be 41-41. More chance of that. Bad defense here. Yeah, it could be bad defense.
Final.
I'm still going under because I don't think it's going to be 24 to get to 24-24. Maybe it is. All right. Next up, we've got the Raiders taking on the Colts here. The Raiders going on the road here right now. You know, these two teams not looking that great here, obviously, with the Jets coming. I mean, the Raiders coming here 1-3, the Colts 3-1, and they'll have to get it done here against this Raider team that does have a good rushing defense to try to stop Jonathan Taylor here, and that's what they'll have to do. And I think the Colts will continue to go to the well. I think they can stop Taylor actually today, at least to hold him under his numbers. I kind of have the fade on Taylor. I know that he can bust out against any team here, but the Raiders have done a nice job in the run game, in my opinion, so far. And they also shut down wide receivers for the most part so far. The Raiders defense has done an okay job for a 1-3 team. I don't want Pittman in this situation. I don't even want Downs. And now the problem is, you know, the Colts got a nice receiving prospect in A.D. Mitchell, but when he screwed up, that he's in the doghouse this week because of that terrible play he made. And now it's going to be Ashton Doolin who's kind of going to get the number 3s, and they're going to need him. Because I think that will be a little bit slow for Pittman and Downs. I'm a little bit down on Indiana Jones today, but I'm more down, I think, on the Raiders. Now, Geno, who can he get it to? It sets up nicely for Geno, but Jacoby Myers, I don't know. The Colts might be able to slow Jacoby Myers. I think Trey Tucker is the best chance for the Raiders today. Tucker's looked outstanding in that one game so far. He's kind of been hit and miss for sure, but he does offer some great upside, that's for sure. Man, another total here that's up to 47.5, and the Raider team that, what are they, just some offensive juggernaut here? They don't have their all-pro tight end, Brock Bowers, and now they're going to have to go down here to Justin Shorter. And Justin Shorter hasn't done anything yet, and neither has Thomas. Really, the Raiders have nothing at tight end today, pretty much. As far as the Colts are concerned, Tyler Warren, I think he is setting up nicely here. This is a bust out for a touchdown run, and it's, you know who? Sean Judkins. He's having a big first quarter. He's got a touchdown. There's a flag down. He just hit himself like, what's going on? How can you have a penalty on this play? Is it coming back? Well, maybe that's why Sean got off on that, huh? Going to bring this one all the way back, huh? Okay, busted out with the holding. I guess that's why it's holding, but he sure looked good on that run. Probably didn't even need to hold. We'll see the replay. All right, for me in this, I'm actually laying the points with the Colts here. I think the Raiders will fall flat in the end. I think the receiving game, oh yeah. I mean, when you grab the shoulder pad and the man has to turn in, might have helped the referee a little bit there, knowing that he wasn't going to tackle him anyways. I'll just fake the hold. So good luck to the Raiders now. Ashton Genty, I'm neutral on Genty here. Numbers probably came in a little bit too high. The only guy I like is Geno here, but he's not going to get much help from the receivers here. I actually would take a chance on one of the, I don't know which tight end it's going to be. I guess it's going to be Shorter, but the numbers might be low enough that you could get involved with these guys a little bit here with Brock Bowers. Questionable for sure. Pittman Jr. is actually on the injured list, but probable, and so is Alex Pierce out today. So it's Pittman and Josh Downs, and then forget A.D. Mitchell. He's on the shit list, and then it'll be Ashton Doolin. So still going to take the Colts here at home against the Raiders. I don't like the Raiders right now in this scenario. Remember, yes, the Colts may have had a clunker, but actually they've looked excellent. It almost seems like, remember, they were looking pretty good, and everyone said, man, Steichen, if he just didn't have the burden of this situation with Richardson and whatever the Colts were trying to do there at first in the quarterback situation, and now you have a guy like Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones. Maybe this is the right situation for Daniel Jones. I'm taking the Colts today and laying a touchdown here against the Raiders. Man, 45. You guys must be talking about. I was like, wow, 45 comments. Awesome. It's the spam. I'll get to the spam here in just a moment. Okay, let me find where I left off though here. Get the spam out of the way. Do they have to do 5 spammies for each one? Why do you? I don't need Ziggy to say Raiders ATS 5 times. I don't need Cash Kane to say Colts Moneyline 5 times. I'll take care of it, guys. Sorry about that. And Nick Handy says Taylor to get 2 rushing TDs. Like I said, I'm not in on Taylor today, but I know what you're saying, Nick. And Nick, come on, Taylor's great. We know that. All right, what do we got here? Taylor over in his rushing yards. Warren over in his receiving yards. Jacoby Myers over 9 legacy. He's got obviously has the over here. I don't know if I do. SF Niner says the only guy at least. I see. I'm opposite on this one with my man SF Niner. I think Jacoby here can get locked. Colts for Nuke. Robert on Colts. Terrell says Raiders team total over, and Ziggy says a letdown spot here for the Colts. Off of a big game. Yeah, but they lost the game, so that's all I'm saying. And look. Right? They lost to a good team, for sure, in the Rams. It was on the road, so back home now. They were 3-0 before that one, so I think the Colts still have a pretty good team here. And the Raiders, they're the Raiders. Okay, let's keep it going right now here in the NFL with Broncos taking on the Eagles here. A lot of talk here, Broncos are live. Broncos can win this one. They can stay in this one. I'm sure they can. Hey, the Broncos have done a nice job here. Knicks, I don't know if this is a great spot for Bo Nix. I know it's going to be hard for J.K. Dobbins, as great as he's been, to get on track here against the Eagles. Come on. With Dobbins and Harvey, I don't know if they can get going, and that's going to hurt Bo Nix. Cortland Sutton, he's looked pretty good for sure, but I'm not all in on this passing game today for sure for Denver against Philadelphia. I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem for the tight ends. I don't think Ingram's going to get anything done here. He's healthy, but that's about it. If anything, if anybody on the Broncos, I'd probably try to look to the receivers, Sutton and Mims. Their numbers were a little bit lower, but I don't like Nix enough to get them home. I think this is a bad spot for the Broncos. A non-division game. You're going on the road here. I don't know, you guys. At least for the Broncos here, they can stop Barkley. They can slow him a little bit at least. I don't want Barkley here, not with the numbers they set out with Barkley this week. They were too high here. It's going to be all Barkley. You're not going to count on these other backs to get in there, and that's a problem. They really don't have the backup right now with Tank Bigsby not really coming through, A.J. Dillon not really doing it. The backups for Barkley aren't getting enough done. There's Njoku to the 45 here. So the storyline this week was A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, both complaining about not getting involved. You're 4-0. Don't complain if you're not getting involved. That means the team is doing it right. You're probably in the best position you could be in to help the team being overlooked. Now, I don't like the matchups for Brown or Smith today. I'm going under in this game for sure. I think this is an under game. This is going to be a grudge match, I think, by the end today. total at 43, maybe, or 44 there, 43 and a half, maybe even 44. But I think it's going to be very, very difficult.
Steam play.
I'd actually probably take a long shot in this game with Jahan Dotson here. Yes, you got to figure that for Brown, for Smith. I mean, imagine you got a Heisman Trophy winning receiver and you can't really get the ball to him. I like Hurts. I'm neutral on today, but I just think the offense. I think if you don't have enough running with Barkley, I'm not saying that Barkley doesn't go off, but hey, the Broncos can stop the run. They definitely have at least a top 10 rushing defense, if not even a top 8 or lower. But the Eagles have a top 5 rushing defense. So the running backs are in trouble here, and so are the tight ends. I don't like Goddard here. I don't think I like anybody here very much, except for maybe, like I said, maybe those Denver receivers here a little bit, but I'm going under in this game. I think Denver's got a problem scoring points in the game today. That's what I think, but let's hear from you in the chat. And we've got Ziggy on the Eagles, Timothy on the Eagles. And Nine Legacies, maybe you're right there, Nine Legacy. Terrell says, and that puts pressure on Hurts, right? Because you're 4-0. Everything's working. Okay, if Hurts is running the ball too much, that's fine. He better take off running today. He needs to probably run more than he's going to. A.J. Brown for a couple of touchdowns. Eagles here for David. D-Money, Eagles there. Hurts over in his yards. Robert likes the over in the game. I'm surprised we're on different in this game. Irish King here. Philly, team total over, and A.J. Brown TD. Irish King likes Philadelphia. Broncos, no money line for Cash Kane. SF9er wishes Njoku was on. When Njoku's healthy, he's good. Eagles here for NYC Bar. And Nine Legacy says he's going to take the Broncos money line today. And Nuke says, look, and maybe it hasn't been the offense, it's been the defense. And I will say this, if it has been the defense, right, Nuke, I think it's going to be more defense again today. Marvin Mims is probable for Denver. Dallas Goedert and Grant Calcaterra, the tight ends, they're in. Kripke, Eagles. And Blake Jordan Davis and ATD maybe in there. Okay. Let's see here. Chase J. I can't figure out if Chase J. I mean, that seems like the one. He's a member, so. He's just saying if you get the commercials are killing in YouTube Premium. Yeah, because you don't have to wait till the thing hit skip. Yeah, I spend so much on. That's good on you, Chase. All right. Right, Terrell, you do what it takes to win. And I think that they'll still do it. I think Hurts can get it done. I think Hurts is one. He's going to win the game. I'm going to go. I'd go Hurts on a couple of. He'll get a tush-push touchdown, but I really love the little variations that they're putting in there. I think it makes it. You don't have to run the tush-push every time. Bring out the same package. Line up those 3 tight ends like they did on the right side or whatever you want to call them. Maybe one is a slot back, and then throw a shovel pass. The great thing about a shovel pass is, if he doesn't catch it, it's incomplete. It's not a fumble. Just shovel it to him. Okay, I'm having some fun with you guys here. Man, Irish King doesn't even eat fast food. Oh, Irish King says the game commercials. Yeah, well, that's the NFL. All right, let's keep it going here right now. And the Giants taking on the Saints as Newcastle here scored a goal against Forest. All right, the Giants are on the – and now the Saints are a 2-point favorite here. We know the Giants opened up the favorite, and then it kind of went to, pick them there. And now the Saints are favored. All of a sudden, the Saints are favored with a quarterback that's never won. 0-10, 0-11, 0-12. What is he? He's never won. Talking about Spencer Rattler. But like I said, he's not afraid. And you watch today. This is going to be my guy. I talk about my guys every time with these Saints, and the Saints are 0-4, so that should be a flag, but it's not. But I think Olave and Shaheed, I'm in on them today for sure. I'm actually gonna reach for them. Yeah, we'll use the hands there. So I'm actually going to reach. I think my projections have them a little bit short, and the numbers maybe are a little bit long. But I'm going with Olave and Shaheed today, and I'm going to also step up with Rattler because I think Kamara is able to run here, and I also think Keandre Miller also will be able to have a big game. He had that breakout game against the Giants, and that'll take some pressure off Kamara. The Saints will be able to run here against the Giants, and this will help the Saints big time. You know what else is going to help the Saints today? Watch out. You know who's going to be in there? Taysom Hill. I haven't seen Taysom Hill in a while, have you? But watch out. You know when he's on the game, you know what's going to happen. He's going to get some kind of weird touchdown. Not only Taysom Hill in this game, but also you're also going to have, Jawan Johnson's questionable. So it ends up being here. You're going to be ended up going with Taysom Hill in there and Foster Moreau. And remember, Foster Moreau, when he was last seen, he was catching a few touchdowns. In fact, he's going to be an off-the-radar guy today that you can cash in big on. I think Foster Moreau could find the end zone. So I like the Saints situation here a lot today. Now, Scatabo, everyone loves Scatabo. I love Scatabo. I think Scatabo can have a big game against the Saints. I think they'll just keep giving it to him. They might run Scatabo. They think they have a tailback. He's kind of a big guy still, but man, I would just run Scatabo. I'm worried for Dart. Dart could have a big game, but for Wandale and Slayton, the numbers came in a little high, so I can't get on them. But I might go with a little bit of Dart on his yards, maybe his rushing yards. Maybe Dart can get something here because I actually think we're going to see a high-scoring game between the Giants and the Saints. I'm not trusting any defense in here, really. I think it's going to be a lot of Saints, but the Giants can get some here for sure with Scatabo. I think you got to look to Scatabo today. And maybe that passing game can get something done. Not in on the tight ends for sure with Theo Johnson, despite his touchdown against the Chargers. I'm going to fade the Giants tight ends today, but I like almost everything on the Saints. Giants coming off of a win, going down here against an 0-4 team that is favored by 2 points, even though they're 0-4 and the quarterbacks never won. I don't like, I'm not that guy that says I'll take it because of that, but it is peculiar. And I've got the over, though, and this one is my play here on the show with the Giants and the Saints. Fair catch, 7-7, 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Thank you for joining me here. These are 22 real messages. The spammers are gone. You guys scared the spammers away? All right. Newt gets the same commercials on TV. He's like, how come these cookies give me the same commercial? Cookies are spooky. I mean, how do these guys know when I'm looking? I go to order some gummy bears on Amazon, and the next thing you know, I got a gummy bear commercial on TV, and it says, click here for gummy bears. Now, that's creepy. But that's the future. All right. Chase says the Giants' money line's a lock. I'm not. I don't think it's a lock. I think the Giants are in trouble today. Saints money line, me and Nine Legacy are hanging out there. The Rattler. I can't do it. I want to do a little snake. I can't do a snake noise. All right. Yeah. And look, it's not, he's been put in an awkward situation is what it feels like to me. Here's Saints. Here's more Saints. Got to be a lot of Saints. Saints team total over. This is the NFL. Saints, says Blake. And let's see here. Blake on the Saints. SF9 on the Saints. Hope it's me like talking us into the Saints. You guys were on the Saints before I was on the Saints, right? I'm gonna eat a gummy bear now. Right in the middle of the show. All right. Hi, Reese. Reese likes the Giants, though. And Terrell says, you got to take the Saints on the money line. Okay. Trolley Bears in the morning. I'm ready for football. All right, we'll keep it moving here right now.
Final.
And next up, Titans and the Cardinals. And all right, well, we got to play them all. You got to bet them all. And who do we like here with the Titans and the Cardinals today? I'd say for these two teams, you better be running the football, especially if you're the Cardinals. And kind of tough, when you're missing your top guy here for sure right now with Trey Benson, going out. We already know they've lost their best running backs here, and that's too bad because this is a great situation. If the Cardinals can run today going up against Tennessee, they're last for me. I think they're last. They're last in my rankings on run defense. So you could have Michael Carter here. He'll get a lot of snaps. It's really between Carter and my man DeMercado, the super DeMercado. And he'll probably have a big chance too. You got to run if you're Arizona. You just don't have the backs to do it, or the name backs anyway. But Michael Carter and, of course, Imari DeMercado are the guys to look at here as Gabriel gets sacked back here. So at least you got to try to run the ball. Now, Kyler Murray, I love the matchups here for Harrison and for Wilson and for maybe for Wilson, Greg Dortch. So look, they're going to miss him if he's out. He's questionable, right? I think he's going to miss the game. So Cardinals, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. has got a great matchup, but Tennessee can harass the quarterback again. As long as the Cardinals are able to get the yardage on the ground, that'll free it up, and they'll be okay in this spot. They're favored by a touchdown over a football team. No matter which, they're favored over an NFL football team. Gabriel gets away. He sneaks out of there. He's going to get tripped up just short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1, but they have to punt from here. So McBride's been awesome, but Tennessee, the one thing they do good is kind of lock down tight ends.
Final.
So they'll try to get it to McBride, but I wouldn't play him today. I think the guys that I'm interested in playing somehow, some way, see what the numbers look good on the Cardinals running backs actually, and also probably for Harrison, maybe for Wilson as well. But it's all got to work together. So I like the Cardinals to win and cover here against Tennessee. Pollard, they just need to keep running Pollard here. Cam Ward needs some kind of support. This has been a disaster so far with Ward. Really a big disappointment for sure. And Calvin Ridley, he is on track to play, but who cares? I mean, he's basically non-existent right now. Calvin Ridley is his, you got to wonder if this is another penalty here. But, you got to wonder if Ridley, granted, he's had knee injury, elbow injury, whatever. Maybe the injuries are, but we're just not seeing anything from Calvin Ridley right now. No chemistry. Everybody's making a big deal on those Cam Ward comments, and I get it. We were talking about it a little bit last night. But, hey, sometimes when you're young and inexperienced, you don't know how to express yourself, too. So, maybe they can get it to Okonkwo. Okonkwo's got an okay matchup. Man, if Cam Ward can get something going with Okonkwo, they could start to do something offensively. But with Ridley banged up and Iomanor has been interesting, right? He looks good, and only thing that Tennessee has been doing right, it feels like, with Iomanor so far. So. All right, Nico, or let's see here. Let me get the Tajay Spears, probable also. Let's go to the chat here in this one with Tennessee and Arizona. I'm laying it with Arizona. I'm laying 7 points with the Arizona Cardinals. Lost my mind. Here we go. Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown in there. Ziggy likes Saints money line. Mike liked the Saints money line. And Pollard TD in there. And let's see here. Not the spot for the Titans. SF Niner likes Benson in that game we were talking about. Ziggy Cardinals against the spread. NYC Bar on the Cardinals here. It's hard taking the Cardinals, isn't it? But just not working out with Cam right now. Timothy, though, ready to try it one more time here. If Pollard can go for like 60, 75 yards, 75 and maybe 25. Titans, Nuke says Titans have scored 51 points in 4 games. You do the math. Okay. 12.285. Okay, 12, something like 12. 12.714. I don't know. Kripke on the Cardinals. Poor Cam. I was like, I'm going to be on Cam early. I think Cam is going to be able to be good, be okay for a rookie, but it hasn't been the case. Blake says go under in this one. He leans the Titans there. Nuke's on the Cards. And has Cam thrown for 200 yet? No. Yeah, I'm sorry. 219 against Indiana. He was 23 of 38 with a touchdown and a pick, 3 carries for 12 yards in that one. They still lost 41-20. All right. Man, Terrell, that sounds pretty good. Cardinals here. I agree, 9 legacy. I think the team has a lot of problems, and hopefully Ward doesn't get lost in the shuffle and end up with no career, right? I don't think he will, man. The guy's too athletic. Kripke says Cardinals. Roberts on the over. Irish King. Seattle, team total over. And Kenneth Walker today. I think I'm down on Walker today. Cardinals money line for SF Niner.
Final.
And SF Niner, Seahawks, Cardinals, and Saints on the money line. Thanks, you guys. Having a good time talking NFL football with you here. And like I said, when I give out these players, I'm not going to research all the props. I'm going to be, on those players and fade the other ones. All right. And Jackson Smith and Jigba here for SF Niner today. Next up, we got a few more here. We're into the afternoon. That was the afternoon game too. How about this one? The Bucks and the Seahawks. This feels like a pretty awesome game. Both teams come in 3-1 right now. Bucks finding ways to get it done. Baker doing a great job. Oh, what a pass and what a catch, and look out. Naylor has a big gainer here in a play that should have been defended. All you got to do is knock it down. It was almost like he tried to jump up and intercept it when it went right through his arms and went right to Naylor, but there's a flag down. Foul on both teams. Offside defense. Holding offense. Bring it back. Okay, so Buccaneers and Seahawks, great game today. The Seahawks can get to Baker and harass him here. It feels like a little bit. But look, Rachaad White, I think he's okay today. I think the numbers were set too high, but he'll lead that rushing attack that the Bucs have without Bucky Irving in here. And I think Rachaad White's a fine guy to do it. I'm not panicking necessarily. I'm not all in on the Bucs running game, but I think White and a little bit of Sean Tucker maybe can get it done here. And for Tampa Bay, even without Evans here, Emeka Mbuka is just the man to do it. I mean, look, we love Evans, so you want him in there big time for sure. Man, Wentz is going to die out here. But Mbuka is awesome. His lines are actually too high probably for me to want to get involved. as are Baker's for sure. But with Igbuka and with Godwin came back. I thought he looked okay for sure. Uh, three receptions, but 10 targets there last week. Just 26 yards. Not perfect, but Godwin is back, and they're going to need him. And I think with Shepard in there as well, I think the Bucs will have enough here. I think the Bucs are in a pretty good position today. I think Kate Otten as well. I wouldn't go in on the Bucs on some of these props for some reason. They just maybe because they're 3-1. I don't really like any of the Bucs on the props, but I don't mind the Bucs here to make a great game of this against Seattle. I don't know if I wouldn't trust Seattle laying any points here. They're not going to be able to run the ball. I respect you said Kenneth Walker in there, but the Bucs are the best. If the Bucs aren't number 1, number 2, they're probably number 3 in run defense. The way I rank them right now, and I think it's going to be a real tough day for Seattle running the ball. They're at home, so maybe Walker will get to his numbers or close, but I don't think he'll smash them. And I do think Smith and Jigba is a great play today, though. I think that's where Seattle should be going. And also we'll look for Torrey Horton. Now, Cooper Kupp for me is kind of, we'll see. I mean, look, Cooper Kupp was kind of falling off here anyways, right, in his career, and he was trying to resurrect it. Had the great game against Pittsburgh, but the other 3 games have been sub Kupp. It feels like so far. So I actually like Torrey Horton. If Torrey Horton gets going, then I think that is going to be a good sign for Seattle because I think JSN is the guy for Seattle today. I think Tampa Bay, though, is not in an awful situation here. This is a good game. I think it's going to come down to the wire. And I also, I think we'll see a lot of points, actually. 44.5 here. Is that what it's, or is it 44 now? 44.5. Let me go over in this one. Let me not get too carried away. I like the over here with Tampa Bay and Seattle. I'm going over. Look, Seattle with the at home, they do have a tendency to play some unders, no doubt about it. But Tampa Bay has gone over in 13 of their last 19. And Baker's always putting pressure on, even when they're doomed. If they lose, he puts another score up there late. So I'm going to take the over in Tampa Bay and Seattle today, even with that big number. Let's kill the spam and then see what you have. I think Barr is over here in this one. Ziggy's on the Seahawks. Now, in Legacy likes the Bucks on the money line. Nuke says this. I can't get any deeper. You're going all the way from Washington to Tampa. I can't go much farther than that. Blake here on the Bucks. I guess unless you're going to England. Robert on the over. And SF Niner. Igbuka is the real deal. I mean, there's no fluke about this, right? Igbuka is a star. And maybe that'll help Baker to no Bucky. I agree, Kripke. At worst, a 3-point game here. Maybe Seattle wins it, but I think they're live here. I think the Bucks are live. Seattle to win, Bucks to cover. Here's Seattle for Nuke. He thinks Darnold can have a big day. Bucks have a great run defense, right? No doubt about it. I think that, for me, is the big deal here with Seattle and Kenneth Walker. I just cannot be on Walker. I cannot be on Charbonnet here. I think this could be where the game is decided. If it does go Tampa Bay's favor, it's because Seattle could not get the running game going. That's what I think will be the storyline if the Bucks were to do it. Okay, we got we're having a challenge here of some kind. We're challenging the ruling on the field of a catch. And I would say no catch. No catch. Easy call. Okay, that's it for that one. Let's go to the Lions taking on the Bengals. You've got the big cats and not so intimidating cats here with Detroit on the road by 10. I know that's hard here to fathom, laying 10 points on the road, but you guys, the Lions are 3-1. This is a a free spot on the bingo card here. And as long as Montgomery Gibbs is running in this game, I would expect the Lions to be able to crush them. Could not get involved with the Bengals here, the way it's been going here without, right? Burrow was able to, the one thing they say, Burrow was at least could pull it out of his, even when the rest of the Bengals were terrible, he could do it. Now you got Browning here, and all of a sudden Chase and Higgins are just average wide receivers. And they can't get the running game going either with Brown. Brown's pretty much been under his projections every game so far this season. And whatever happened to Yoshibas? He was going to be the next great thing. And the Bengals are having all kinds of problems here. I don't know if I like anything in the Bengals lineup at all, except maybe Browning, because his numbers are so low. He might actually get over in his numbers. He might get over his rushing yards, and he may even find a way to his passing yards in this game. But I think the Lions, I can't. I'm not one to take 10 points and say, hey, NFL, yes, I just said NFL, give me home teams like Carolina, the Colts, the Saints, whatever. But not in this one. No. I've got the Lions in a blowout here for sure because the running game will go off. The Bengals will never stop Montgomery Gibbs. And then once Goff gets going, Amon-Ra St. Brown leads the league in touchdowns. They've already jacked his numbers up. I don't know if I can even get involved, but who I can get involved with is Jameson Williams. I think the numbers are easily achievable, especially coming off two subpar games. In fact, Williams he had one great game, and the other three were not very good. He was dropping passes, but what are you going to do? You're going to go to Khalif Raymond. Tisla has not shown up yet. We're waiting for Tisla to be the next great thing, and he hasn't really shown up yet. Now, Sam Laporta is probably good for a touchdown here, and Sam Laporta can have a big, giant game. I think you got to look for Laporta, the running game, and Jameson Williams. I've got the Lions to roll the Bengals on the road. For sure. I've got to go with the Lions here. All right, here we go. With Ziggy likes the Bengals, though, plus the points. Hawk on his receptions. How many does he have so far? I don't have the stats open, but I saw that one. Lions cover. Hello to Justin. And give me one reason to bet the Bengals. I guess if I had to be honest with you, I would say because I would say the one reason would be, not that I'm saying it, Nuke, because I just said I'm taking the line, would be 10 points in a home team in an NFL game, right? Maybe, but for whatever, like we said, man, Joe Burrow's the most valuable player in the NFL because, this team is nothing without him. You know what I mean. All right, Jameson Williams over. I'm all about that for sure. Browning, anytime touch. I don't mind that. Someone's going to have to score. The Bengals aren't going to get shut out. Lions by 2 TDs. I think so. 9 legacy. Justin's got Laporta. See, Nuke says it looks too easy. See, I think some people are saying, hey, 10 points with any team. I think there's a faction of people that say that. And Ziggy says it's a look ahead, possibly. It is, but I think the Lions are still a little bit, well, I don't want to say. They've won 3 in a row. So, okay. Montgomery, ATD. Yeah, you just wonder because Gibbs gets in there too. And what a great combo of backs, right? Bobby Mack likes the over. And Irish King says no value on those Detroit TD props today. Yeah, I still might. It's tough because of the running backs, but Laporta, probably try to find Laporta here. Wentz is probably going to get sacked. He takes off running. He gets smacked. Okay, golf outdoors, not as good of a situation here, but at least you're taking the Bengals. I mean, at least you're against the Bengals. Now Nuke's getting worried about that. Yeah. No, I'm saying Nuke, that's the only reason. I mean, I couldn't give you a reason as to, like, okay, Jake Browning. The one thing about Browning so far, and he's been, obviously has not done a great job, but there just seems to be something wrong with the chemistry in the passing game. If you got great receivers like that, you should be able to find,
Final.
the Bengals have said here, we're sticking with Browning. So, all right, SF Niner gonna take Chase here. Not one person can stop him. I think between the high line though and a decent Lions pass defense, I'm okay with going under with Chase. But look, they've got to find something somewhere, and maybe it'll be Jamar Chase. Okay, let's keep going here. We're going to run out of games. Commanders taking on the Chargers. My Chargers, can they bounce back against the Commanders? And with Jaden Daniels back in the lineup here. Uh-oh. Good news for Washington. I'm a Jaden Daniels fan, but I'm a Chargers fan. So, look, I think the Chargers here probably can have a successful day. I think they can win. I think they can cover. I think Washington, I know there's some say, hey, Daniels need to come back again. I don't think there is that. I'm still on the pro Jaden Daniels camp, not fading him from a jinx, a slump. Just think the Chargers defensively, everywhere you look, are just too good. I can't believe the Chargers have a defense right now that I think that I respect enough to be this good. I think they're in a great position today to really hold down the Commanders, and I think the Chargers can put up a decent number. In fact, I'm going over. I can't really give you any good rationale for it. I think it's just going to be that Herbert will be strong enough here because look, the Commanders can make life difficult. They're actually pretty good at rushing the quarterback, rushing meaning forcing the quarterback to out of the pocket but still corralling him. Now the only guy I really like on the numbers of the Chargers is Ladd McConkey. I don't like anything pretty much on the Commanders. If I did, I'd probably look all the way down. You could go all the way down to WR3 maybe in Luke McCaffrey, but you know what? Moore's in there too. I don't even know who the number 2 guy is. So, but I think Ladd McConkey here for the Chargers. This is the guy that I want to go with. I want to get his receptions here. Look, the Commanders are pretty good against the pass, actually, but also watch out for Tyler Conklin. I think he's a long shot touchdown guy here today. With Will Dissly questionable, it doesn't look like he's going to make the lineup at all. The Chargers have already been looking to get it to Conklin. They also have Aronde Gadsden, but I think that Gadsden had a big game against Denver, but I think Conklin's the guy they want to produce. He had the good game to start the season against KC and hasn't looked good since. But I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers here and lay 3 points against the Commanders to keep it going. I'm homering it up, but I'm honest with this Charger team because I've seen the disappointment, and I can't believe it. I'm not worried about last week's game. They still almost pulled it off, even though they were terrible with penalties. VAR's on the under here. Justin, loving that storyline with Montgomery today. And SF Niner says you can't cover all those receivers on that Bengals team. Justin likes the Commanders here in this one. He's going heads up with me and my Chargers. Yeah, no Joe Alt. Man, Joe Alt's a big difference for sure. And it does play right into the Commanders' hands. I'll acknowledge that. But watch out. If McConkey goes, he might do something stupid here today. He's been a disappointment, actually, this season, McConkey, despite averaging I believe 7 targets per game. Just 156 here in the first half. And this one's going under so far, 7-7 with Minnesota and Cleveland. We've had no points here in the second quarter. It's 4th down, and they're going to have to punt, I believe. They're not going for it here at the 43-yard line. They're just going to try and draw them off sides. They go for it on 4th, and they're going to get it. Oh, they got it. That was risky. But you're the Browns. You might as well go for it. You know what? I didn't think about that. You're the Browns. Just go for it. They would have turned the ball over at the 44-yard line with 1:20 on the clock, giving Minnesota a chance to get 1 first down, maybe 2, and a field goal. Instead, you'll just keep the pressure on like you think you can go down with this offense in a minute 13 and score points. Maybe they get a field goal out of it, but nice defensive play here by Minnesota. All right, you guys, let's keep it going here. And Herbert for 2 TD passes. Ziggy Chargers money line. I think McConkey I think this is the one, Blake. This is the spot for McConkey today. Chargers for McCormick. And where is Kamani Badal? Has there been a Kamani Badal sighting? I don't think he's going to get in there, SF Niner, but I love that 10-1. But like I said, I'd probably go to Hassan Haskins, who's not as good of an odds, but Badal be lucky to get a couple of reps. Carson Wentz is going in the locker room early. Doesn't look like too much of a problem, but looks like to get some treatment. Maybe his left hand. The 9 Legacy Chargers. Herbert to get rushing going here. Who did you take in the Ravens game? What did I take in the Ravens game? Did I skip the Ravens game? Did I skip the Ravens game, you guys? Oh, my gosh. I hope not. Okay, Blake said, did I do it? Okay, let me see here. Did I miss the Ravens game? Sorry, you guys. I'll punch it in right now. What a jerk I am. Texans at Ravens. Texans are favored here by 2 points on the road. Total 40.5. Crazy, isn't it, to think that without Lamar, that would just change the whole situation here? No one trusts. No one. You mean to tell me no one is going to trust Cooper Rush here to handle the Ravens' business in this one? Come on. Didn't mind when Cooper Rush was on the Cowboys doing a pretty good job when Dak was out sometimes, right? I got to go back now. I got to go back and bring up my notes. I didn't even use them. Okay. So let me get on it here then real quick. I better speed it up here. We'll be done at halftime, and then the show will be over, right? Gabriel throwing a nice ball out here. He's got it to Judy finally. They're hurrying. 29 seconds. Maybe they can get a long field goal attempt out of this. All right, Texans here on the road, taking on the Ravens and Cooper Rush. Now, look, Cooper Rush could have his work cut out for him. It probably isn't the best situation for him. It's a great situation for Zay Flowers if Cooper Rush can get the ball to him. And they can. I think they can. Even if Rush doesn't have a great game, he can still use Zay Flowers and maybe a little Rashad Bateman. I'm kind of down on D-Hop for sure today. But maybe Tylan Wallace, who remember he had that big game against Cleveland with that touchdown earlier this season. And Mark Andrews, don't like his numbers. They're jacked up a little bit, but he can certainly get a little bit going here, I think. And especially now, it's great to see Likely back. Hopefully he can get something going here this game. What a catch right there by Njoku. And the Browns are going to be able to try to get 3 points out of this, at least. 23 seconds left. All right, so I'm going under here with the Texans and the Ravens. I don't mean to skip ahead too much, but can't like Derrick Henry's numbers, just way too high. We'll see. I'm sure he can have a fine game. Watch for Justice Hill. I'm not saying that Derrick Henry is not losing carries or anything like that. But I think that maybe some of the things of Derrick Henry is when you go to the well a little too often, right? Even the fatigue on when you're getting hit there a little bit. It does seem like the fumbles come later in the game with Henry, doesn't it? And that could be a fatigue factor. So Justice Hill maybe could take the load off him a little bit. Zay Flowers is a guy that I like today for the Ravens. It's pretty much all I like as far as over props are concerned. For the Texans, Christian Kirk is back. He's been back for a couple of games. He really hasn't done that well. But in this matchup, I'd say Christian Kirk might be the man here for C.J. Stroud. Nico's in. Let me make sure here what Nico they said. He's probable with that knee, but it's a knee injury, and Christian Kirk's your number 2. And I think Christian Kirk can go over his number finally today. I'm going to look for Christian Kirk here on his props over. And I don't want to necessarily go with Woody Marks, but man, after seeing that last game, 119 yards of total offense in a breakout game, it was against the Titans, however. So I'm going to temper the enthusiasm a little bit. I've got the under with the Texans and the Ravens in this one, under 40.5. Okay, let's see here. I'm thinking, oh, wow. Yeah, I knew when I saw 30 messages, we've got spam.
Final.
Okay. Hey, Stand on Biz needs a winner. He had a bad argument with his girl. What was the joke? I really was got into a fight with my. I hope down. It's serious when you get in a fight with your girl. So I hope I cheer him up. But oh man, I got in a fight with my girl. She was upset because we went out with the guys last night. We stayed out a little too late, smoking and drinking and carrying on and having a good time. And boy, I really need to apologize to her and really need to know what I can say or what I can do to make it up to her a little bit and try to make it all right again. So I just got one question for you. What do you think of the game tonight between the Patriots and the Bills? All right. Here we go with Ravens against the spread. 9 legacy on the Ravens. I hope I told that joke right. I was watching the play there, almost an interception there when it happened. Browns could win outright today. Go maybe Mike wants to go under in the Charger game. Dylan the Computer Gabriel. I'm trying to think. Is that Stand on likes the Giants and the Panthers. Blake likes the Ravens. Robert likes the over here. Nuke Baltimore says, look out for those injuries for Baltimore. Yeah, you got some injuries in the wide receiver core a little bit for sure. And the line here actually is Texans here now at -1. So there is a little bit of a move here to Baltimore. It's down to 1. So I know that Nuke's not just talking about Lamar Jackson. He's talking about some other guys in there as well today that are going to be out. Flag down. They're going to get a first down at the goal line here. Oh, no, it's a false start, of course. Trey Berry, hello. SF Niner wants a Njoku TD. Andrew says, a lot of injuries. Justin's on the Ravens here. Texans are just, they just can't. I feel bad. I feel like Stroud is still the man a little bit. Woody Marks over for Legacy, or as 9 Legacy would say, Wood Marks over Russian? Henry could be having some issues here, but Justin likes him over. And Barr says Ravens and Flea. Good luck. All right, man, that set us back. Patriots and Bills tonight here with the Patriots on the road. 7.5-point dog against the Bills here in this one. And, hey, you know what? Patriots, they had a pretty, I know they were playing Carolina, whatever. Hey, it was an okay game. Patriots got to do something, right? Got to do something sometime, somewhere. Now, I don't mind this matchup for the Patriots passing game, believe it or not. I think you're starting to see a little bit of progress with Drake May, and you got Stephon Diggs coming back here to Philadelphia. He's coming, to Buffalo. He's had a big game last time, 101 yards against
Final.
Carolina, and you've got, I think the other Patriots receivers are in pretty good position. I think this could be an okay game for Drake May. Actually, the total though is kind of high. It's a primetime game. Maybe we've seen him go here, but look, I've said that I'm not so trustworthy here of the Buffalo Bills and this. I want to say, Josh Allen, the passing game. Never going to say that, but with Shakir does do a good job. They don't have the Stephon Diggs, if you will, with Shakir, with Coleman, with Palmer. I got worries there. Shakir is an okay option here, but more so the Bills just better run Cook. I'd say run Cook, and run some Ty Johnson, and just do it with the run game and with Dalton Kincaid. Also look for Dawson Knox here, but we know Kincaid's established himself as the number one. You can see all the soccer scores behind me if you want to know. Look, Aston Villa 2-1 over Burnley, Everton 2-1 over Palace.
Final.
There's the Wolves
Final
there. Newcastle 2-0, Roma 2-1, Bologna 4-0, Toulouse 2-1, and there's the Vikings and the Browns 10-7 that field goal. So don't forget, you can look at the live scoreboard behind me at all times. Don't have to look at my ugly mug. All right, I like the under tonight in the game between the Patriots and the Bills. I get it. Look, I'm telling you, I think the Patriots can have an okay night here for sure. I think they could probably stay in this game. They often stay in the game with the Bills. They cover pretty good. They've covered 4 out of the last 5 against the Bills. Bills have won 13 in a row at home. They're the Bills. They're great. But I'm going to go under 49 in this one. All right. Let's see here. We got a few more here. That was Justin had his own punchline for the joke.
Final.
All right. Yep. And hey, you know what? If I didn't sit here and I love doing these shows so much that I just say, hey, I can't go out. I've got to do my show. Patriots money line for 9 legacy. Stand on biz. Nice comment there. Nico, longest reception. Mike Humphrey says, I think he's saying take the Patriots on the money line. And with all due, I understand exactly what Mike is saying. You can't necessarily say the Patriots are going to come in and win in an upset on any given moment, but at the price, division game, this is about as decent as the Patriots have looked here in a while, right? You got to give them a shot tonight with this passing game with Drake May looking pretty good. And look, if one thing the Patriots can do, maybe they can take out that passing game a little bit. If the running game gets going, it's going to be something else. Ziggy's on the Patriots here. Josh Allen under in his rushing yards. Justin likes the Patriots team total over. Jim says, how are you stopping the Bills? No way. I think, Jim, I would say, though, just division game, the one area the Patriots are doing pretty well in here right now is pass defense. The Bills can run it down their throat and take it and open it back up if the Patriots have to shore it up against Cook. I think Cook, look, last night I said Ty Warren. They said on the show last night, give me your best touchdown prop. I told them it was Ty Warren of the Colts. I got vetoed a little bit because they wanted to go with, with Jonathan Taylor, and I get that. But Jonathan Taylor's what, minus 160, 180, whatever he is. And Ty Warren has got a much better price, and I think he can score today. But they said, can you go with someone? I said, okay, I'll take Cook. I definitely like Cook to get a TD, and I like Cook to have a big game. All right. And SF Niner likes Shakir. And Trey Berry says over and Bills. Nine Legacy says, let's do it today. I think the Patriots hang in there. Patriots like Blake likes the Pats. Stand on says, what about the Eagles on the money line? I will say this, Stan, in listening to a lot of the analysts this week, there's been a lot of talk about the Broncos. Robert likes the over. Okay, that's it. Before I die, I might want to have another gummy bear. Okay, that's it for football. Let's go to the WNBA and our one game tonight. And the Mercury and the Aces here with, man, the game landed right there on the spread. I know a lot of people have the winner there. I ended up with a push there because I always take the worst of the number. Make sure the subscribers or you guys get the best of it. So I took a push, but everybody else won. Taking the Mercury, they won. I took Vegas. I've got the under in this one after the game went way over in the first half and then totally slowed down in the second quarter. Now you got to start off here again. I don't think it's going to be like last time.
Final.
I think with the adjustments that have been made, we'll get off to just a kind of a regular start. It may even get a little bit clunky and slow a little bit here in game 2 now with the Vegas already up 1-0. I'm going under in this game, and I think the same holds true. Now, man, you look at what we saw in game 1, man, full contributions from the Aces, right? The entire team was going with it here. Just some great performances there by Vegas. And I think with Chelsea Gray, with Jackie Young as well, they can have some big games. And I like Satu Sabali of Phoenix here, but I'm going to go under in this one with the Mercury and the Aces as my play today. And 2 games in the NBA preseason, and I'm going to go ahead and take I've got the Hornets plus the points, and I've got the Warriors. They're up to 3.5 though against the Lakers. That's okay. We're going to fade the Lakers in the preseason and take the Warriors here. And that's kind of it right now for the Morning Steam Show. Really appreciate you guys joining me here. Be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We'll talk Monday Night Football. We'll talk baseball playoffs, National League style, and get you ready for the action on Monday. Let's do the drawing here right now. Hey, you get more picks from me, including today. Did I miss all the plays? Let me go back to get you guys here real quick. SF Niner likes the Browns, Jets, Texans, Saints, and Bengals. Underdog parlay. Nasty Nate likes the Patriots to smash in this one. NYC Bar likes over in the WNBA. Nasty Nate says you got to take Pereira by KO. And SF Niner obviously likes the under in the game. Justin says Mercury, team total over. I know he likes the Mercury here, I believe. Robert likes the Mercury. Sabali over or a 3-pointer there. And I think that's it. Let's go to the drawing here right now and run the commercial here, and then we'll get on out of here. We'll get up to the second half, huh? Let me see here if I got the let's see here. Go ahead and comment in the chat. I want to make sure. Oh man. Okay. Go ahead and comment in the chat if you didn't already. I don't know if we got everybody in there so far. It seems like I've only got about 15 or 16 people in there in the drawing. So let's run the commercial and type something in the chat if you want to be in the drawing for some free picks today. I think we got 6 games in the NFL today, so check it out.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, yeah, we got about 19 there right now. So let's see who gets, if you want them, you don't have to take the plays. It's just a free subscription to my additional content. Thanks to all the folks, the chat all-stars in here today. Let's have a fun day. Love NFL Sunday. All right, seeing everybody in there. There's Jim on the Tigers. Let's do the drawing. Let's go. Nasty Nate, Trey, Jim, Flea, Robert, Ziggy, Nuke, NFL streaming on. Trey Berry wins. Trey, if you use the promo code winner, you can go to winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code winner, and you'll get 1 month. Subscribe for 1 month. Use the promo code winner, and you'll get the 1 month. Won't charge you for anything unless you want to be charged. That's how we do it here. So Trey Berry wins. You might already be in there. If you are Trey, I will put another month on your subscription. I don't know if you're on subscribed or not, but thanks a lot, Trey. Thanks a lot, everybody. All right, that's going to do it for the Sports Money Network. Oh, at least bring myself up here on the screen. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Morning Steam. So long.
Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.